Hello, good day, good evening, good weekend, just good. So, how is everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well, and I hope you are. That's one of my favorite expressions down here when you say, "Hey, how you doing?" They say, "Oh, I'm doing well. I hope you are." So today, um, every week I come to you with some thoughts, some words. It's not right. It's not wrong. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to think. In fact, I'm not even forcing you to watch this, but it's kind of like a train wreck. You just can't help yourself. So today, I want to talk about something that I have seen more and more of, and I just want you to be aware of things that I see. So we're going to talk about prison today. Now, it's not that I have any experience, and that 8 to 10 thing that I did, yeah, it was like a country club kind of thing, but prison. I think in one way or another, all of us have been in prison or still are in prison. Prison just isn't a place where you go when you've done something wrong. Because I can remember as a kid, I thought I was always in prison. I was always being punished and go to the corner, which was my prison. But we grow up with these feelings of that we've done something wrong, and we start to build these walls. So prisons just aren't a place with the bars and a little slot for the meal to go through. Prisons are also up in here, whether they're real or imaginary or whatever the case is. Prisons are all around us, and the walls are walls that surround us, that keep us behind bars. Walls like guilt, shame, death, fear. These are walls that imprison us, and they're real feelings, but they keep us away from life and things that we want to do. Now, some will say, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal," and well, okay, in your when you're in real prison with the bars, you got freedoms too. You're going to the cafeteria, you're going out into the, the field, whatever. You go outside for exercise and for air, and then you come back to your prison. So it's just kind of like that, where, yeah, maybe we go to work, maybe we have a good week, and we escape and we get out of prison, but then we go in our quiet time, maybe when we're not surrounded by people, we go back into our prison and we fixate on these crimes. Now, I'm not saying that these aren't real feelings, real emotion, but sometimes we've allowed these emotions become fake news. We've allowed them to be the judge, jury, and executioner of who we are. I've seen it time and time again where people are just, it defines who they are. Um, for example, my mother-in-law years ago, when she had a child that passed, and she became such a prisoner to the guilt, and it really paralyzed her, that it was always there and it was always a part of it and never dealt with the perceived crime. And so maybe all of us have these perceived crimes. How do we deal with that? How do we break down these walls to get out of prison and have a jailbreak? So when I think of jailbreak, I think of the westerns where they're in there and the sheriff's sitting back, he's got his big circle ring of keys and he's sleeping. And then the horse comes up behind and they say, "Hey, Jed, grab the rope. And he grabs the rope and ties it to the bars. And then the guy on the horse says, yeah. And then the horse goes and pulls out the bars. And then the bandito escapes. It's a jailbreak. And, or maybe if I was ever in jail and my mom came and brought me that cake, in that cake was a little saw, and I was sawing and sawing until I had a jailbreak. Maybe you need a friend on a horse who's going to come and break you out of jail. Maybe you need and someone who can come and aid and abet you in your jailbreak and give you that little saw. Maybe it's time to lock pick the ball and chain that is around our ankles. It's time for a jailbreak. It's time to get rid of the things that wall us in. You know, you can tell the people maybe who always had joy in their hearts, who are just really saddened, and and while those again are real feelings, that's not what this is. It's about at what time even people who commit crimes, there's an end to the crime repayment. And maybe you feel that you still have to keep paying. How much longer do you got to pay for guilt and for shame and for fear and for death? How much longer? How about on commuting all the sentences today? How about there's zero bail for the feelings that wall us in and keep us from others, but maybe more importantly, from others getting to us? Walls work two ways. It keeps us safe from ourselves, maybe, but maybe others come into us. So maybe it's our job as outsiders to help break those walls, maybe to chisel a hole, maybe to have the escape car waiting outside the pen. And now here comes the dogs and the lights are going. And you can just say, you know what? I've committed no crime. I was falsely accused. I'm out of here. So, again, we all have these situations. We do. But some of us just don't like to admit it. And since I'm just talking to myself here, sure, I've been in prison many times, falsely accused, because I've believed the lies. A lot of times, shame and guilt and fear, they're just lies. And we bought into them. So we go to a self imposed prison to pay the price on what somebody else judged us for. You ain't guilty. Yeah, but maybe you're guilty of that one. There's no need to go to prison. There's no need to build the walls of our heart, the walls of our emotions, the walls of our feelings, the walls of who we were created to be. We weren't meant to have walls. We were created to have relationships with one another. So let's get out of jail. And if I had a little Monopoly mustache get out of jail card guy for you, I'd give you one. So here's your card today. I'm releasing you from your prison. I believe in my heart that there are those who are in prison right now. You know who you are. You have walls right now. I believe you've been released. But you have to accept it. If the gates are open, the holes in the wall, the horses pulled out the bars, you have to take the next step. So I'm hoping today you'll think about, come on, come on. So those are my thoughts for the day. And if you need help, maybe we can help. I don't know. Maybe you have walls that keep you from getting prescription drugs. Maybe you have walls that keep you from getting incontinence supplies or food. Whatever your walls are, call the wall busters. Who are you going to call? Oh, yeah. See, that was a good one. Wall busters. This has just been Rich, plain old Rich, saying, peace out.